Good evening, or good morning now, excuse me. I want to talk for a moment about something that Attorney General William Barr said the other day. He's referring to Black Lives Matter and the protests that they've had organized against law enforcement. I just mentioned Black Lives Matter is probably the most common, most people know. So William Barr basically made the statement that if people keep protesting police, that they won't get protection. They won't get protection. And I thought that was so interesting because, and I want to be clear about this, I'm not surprised by anything Trump's people do anymore. They could come out tomorrow with a demon fucking outfit on, screaming "Hail Satan" or something. I wouldn't blink. There's nothing Trump's people, and I said it before, Trump has done so much to alienate himself from adults in the room, whatever you want to call it. I don't really think they're adults, they're just human beings. They're politicians, people who are politically minded. He's done so much that now Trump, all he's got is fanatics. That's all he got. And he's even having problems with them. I would explain Mulvaney coming out openly talking about breaking the law. And I would talk about William Barr saying to black people, people of color, basically that if you protest the police, we're not going to protect you. And I find that just so intriguing. This is another example of one of Trump's people singing the words of the song that you're not supposed to sing. We've known for quite a long time that law enforcement is basically a protection racket, which serves to protect the rich and the privileged in most cases. I can't say that 100% of the time, but a good portion of the time. That's what law enforcement does. That's how they respond. That's how they react. And it has very little to do with black people protesting or folks throwing stuff at police in New York. That has very little to do with all that. Law enforcement is a protection racket. It's been that way for quite a long time. A lot of these big cities is about who you know, not what you know. About favors and things like that. And I find it funny because if you listen to Trump when he got elected, he basically kind of jokes about that. He jokes about basically all these people work for me. I put money into all these campaigns. Trump has from the beginning made a mockery. See, that's why. One good thing about Trump, I will say, is he shows you just what. He shows you rich white men aren't doing anything to help anybody else. We saw it with the tax cuts. Other things Trump has talked about. I see William Barr's comments, and they might sound ridiculous. People came out against it and all that. I see his comments as simply the continuation of what Trump said in the beginning. When Trump came out and was talking about don't be so easy on the thugs, put the hand over their head before they get in the car. This is a continuation of that. So it shouldn't surprise anybody that he'd come out and say that. And this is also another example of what? Trump's not talking to me. Trump's not talking to us. He's not. You got to know that. You got to understand that. That when Trump's talking, he's not talking to us. He's not talking to the working class. Not really. Not talking to us. He's talking to rich white people and the men that wear the badges. That's all there is to that. You know, it's so simple sometimes to understand what Trump and folks are talking about. He's not talking to us. He's not talking to us. He's not, none of that. This is fascism. This is what fascism looks like. You know, this is the rich get rich and the poor get poor. And the police get more and more rough. The police get more and more violent and get away with a lot more stuff. You know, this is a system that's breaking down. This is a rapidly collapsing system. It's all around you. Graham Elwood was talking about in a video he did the other day about another tent city where he lives that he hadn't even noticed. You know, he's like, that just popped up. This is reality. You know, Trump exists as a sort of a payback to Obama, which is really crazy because as time goes on and one look at Obama, he was a centrist. Obama was a centrist in many ways. And if it wasn't for the fact that we've been at war for so long, if it wasn't for the fact that American wages have been stagnant for 40 years, I don't think we would have looked at him that way. You know, it's like a man who is homeless. If you throw him a blanket that's got, you know, that it might have fleas in it or something, he's probably still gonna, you know, look at it. Whereas the average person's like, no, that's unsanitary. You see my point? Or if you say, I'm gonna give you this car, but it might have bed bugs in it, he's gonna probably take the car. Whereas me, I'm gonna be like, no, I don't want to touch that shit. You know what I mean? Most people given an option will not do that. Would not do that. So, like I said, this stuff from Barr, this is just another example. Fascism in effect. It's more of an example of, like I said, law enforcement operating as a sort of a protection racket for the rich and for the privileged and for the system. That's all it is. There has not been a recovery. There will not be a recovery because we're on the way down. I think that in time, people will look at the recession of 08-09 as a sort of a, you know, kind of like the, you know, Christ BC AD. It'll be like that. I think in time that's coming. In time, I think that Obama kicked the can on the road. I think Trump. What's that? I think Trump serves as sort of a oligarch lockdown. Oligarchs looting the system before it collapses. See, I think people behind the scenes know what's going on. They might not know exactly when the system's going to collapse, when you're going to get these big wars, but they get ready for them. That's why they say the things they say and do the things they do. You know, a part of me, I think, hoped that going into the future, you'd have a society that's more just, that's more equal, that's more hopeful, and a society that had a positive view into the future, and all I see is fascism. I see fascism. I see a whole lot of people buying into fascism when they don't benefit from that aforementioned fascism in any way. It's kind of sad. It really is. It's kind of sad. It really is. I think this country is in trouble. I think that the Afghan documents further prove the point. I did a video not too long ago, and I was speaking about how a lot of people get very angry when you talk about WikiLeaks and what Snowden did and Julian Assange and all that. And I basically said that when you're in an unjust system, you're not going to get justice by following the rules. And most of your freedom fighters throughout history that have made real legitimate change have broke rules here and there. That's part of the game because you're dealing with an unjust system. That's a part of the game. Nobody's talking about the Afghan war documents. See, this is why, like, when I tell my dad about how I don't watch Western propaganda, people know what I mean. This is an example of that. All you guys are talking about the impeachment of Trump, and that's fine, that's okay. But here you just had a document released. They fought for like 3 or 4 years to get it, proving that multiple administrations lied to us to continue a 20-year-long war fought on the basis of a lie. And no one's talking about it. That's how you know that's real. That's how you know this isn't like some kind of a setup where the CIA is like leaking a little bit of documents to make the Democrats look bad. This is none of that. It's none of that shit. This is real. This is real shit. And somehow sometimes it happens. This is some real shit that squeezed through, and they're not talking about it. Like I said, I need to put that on my list. You know, something I want to ask everybody about. This is one of the things. I don't watch Western propaganda. I have no interest in Western propaganda. And it's weird how, as time goes by, that decision may be one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. Real talk. Like leaving the Gagasaw. It's a decision that I look back at and I'm like, damn, I should have done this sooner. Yeah, it's just like, Church of Jesus Christ. It's just like, man, why'd I wait? That's like staying on a sinking ship. Why did you wait? You know? That's two things. That's two things I want to say. The first one is I don't watch Western propaganda. I don't watch Western movies. I don't follow any of it. And a great example of that, and I've talked about 4 or 5 corporations around media, GE, Viacom, Time Warner, Westinghouse, and it's one more, I think. That runs all media in America. I spoke about that before. And the fact that you have this document that proves what we've been talking about and proves what Snowden was talking about, and no one talks about it, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to make it any clearer that you're living within a crumbling empire. And it's crumbling all around you. If you don't believe it, look at everything it does to oppress you and other people of color. Look at what it does with just this rampant warmongering. Look at what it does, how blatant it is in its propaganda. Do you have to explain it to you? So I don't miss, you know what I mean? Like I used to. It's crazy because I haven't been watching RT, like sitting there and watching their like nightly news. I watch Democracy in the morning, Democracy Down in the mornings, and listen to their pack and other people listen to. And I was kind of watching Morning Joe. It's kind of watching Rachel Maddow and watching some other people that my dad's told me about. I never really got on Rachel Maddow. Never really got on with her. Yeah, she got a point. She's right on certain things, but I never got on with her. Never. And this is an example of why. This is an example of why. The fact that no one's talking about this. You know, I understand that I'm living within a crumbling system that is not going to be fixed, that's not going to fix itself, and in fact, it's going to get a lot more violent before it ends. That's the point. A lot of folks around me talk about how it's not sustainable, and that's true, but I think that this society, see what Trump represents with his fascist shit, is this idea that somehow, by breaking the rules, by destroying all these regulations, but fought tooth and nail to protect us, to protect union rights, to protect worker rights, by destroying the regulations on clean water and clean air, the regulations on the radiation that can be, put on us. Somehow that's going to help us, but What are you doing? What? You know, that's crazy. I said it before, and they don't even realize that. But they don't even realize that even if listen, even if you've got a good economy, let's say Trump's right. Let's just say it's right. Let's say Trump's right, and you got a better economy than ever before. More African Americans hired and all that. If you do all that, but the trade-off of it is all these folks getting cancer, all these folks getting sick, more diseases popping up. What did you gain? Like what I'm saying is, as an advanced society, it's gotta be about more than just making fucking money. It's gotta be about quality of life for us and our children. And if you don't understand that, you're an ideologue. You're already lost. Yeah. If you don't understand that, I mean, these are the people. I used to say something all the time. I say this all the time before Trump got elected. Now, it makes more sense now. These people, these deplorables, they joke being deplorables. If they got their way, we'd be back to asbestos, DDT, all that shit overnight. And they think that just because these things create jobs, that it doesn't matter. I mean, when you talk about deplorable, people are like, I'm proud to be deplorable. What you're really saying is you're proud to be ignorant, and you are basically like the people who were burning witches at the stake. You're like, yeah, we're proud. These demons, you're basically, that's basically what you are. You're proud to be somebody running around in the woods with a hood on, a tiki torch. That's it. You're proud of that. You're proud, and we've done so much. People have fought so. That's why I said I want to leave the country, because people have fought so hard, tooth and nail, so we have better institutions, so that we have more safety in these industries, and the workers have more rights. People have fought so hard for that, just to see Trump's minions destroy it. It's disillusioning if you believe in this system. Be careful. If you don't, then I'm not talking to you. But if you're out here thinking that by getting a Democrat in office, or by recycling a little bit here and there, that's going to solve all the problems, then I don't think so. I don't think we can go back. I don't think that by electing Bernie Sanders, we're gonna go back to this time where people were concerned with workers' rights. I don't think that's at the end of the day it's done. I think that barring some type of real grassroots struggle, which that may happen too, I don't think we're going back. Sometimes when you look at your life, you think back on the better times. You think back, like me, I think 2010 when I had that money and stuff. You think back on the better times, and you think that if you just do this or that, you can go back, and those times are done, man. I see war ahead. I've been saying it for a while, because I haven't been following this impeachment stuff, but the day Trump got impeached, the day I'd have a gun on my front seat, shotgun and everything. I have a shotgun, but I'll definitely be armed tomorrow. No doubt. These white men have essentially showed the whole world that the Constitution is but just a GD piece of paper, as George Bush eloquently put it. That the Constitution was just some sort of a rallying cry for white supremacy. And now that the blacks have learned Constitution law, read the Constitution, read the federal papers, you got a few blacks that have read that, they're like, shit, we don't, we don't care, we're going to just do this anyway. We're going to gerrymander and this and that and the other. And I did a video last other night talking about this. That if they can't get their way by locking us up for marijuana, if they can't get their way by locking us up for little bullshit ass charges, They never go back to what their ancestors did, which was straight wholesale violence. See, that's the thing about being up here with Samaritans Purse. You know, these are nice people. Some of them are nice people. They're boring. They are so fucking boring. It's like working at a nursing home. It's like working at a nursing home. I mean, it's so boring up here. But, you know, it's the way they want to live their lives. There's so much going on in the real world. Some progressive change up here. And there's a kind of a snarkiness with these people up here. That they know what they don't know. Does that make sense? It's like, I know, it's like what Trump does when he talks about the stock market. When he's doing good, he talks about it. When it's not, I didn't watch that. I don't follow that. I just follow the jobs. I follow the jobs. Yeah, because you're losing. You're not even going to reason about things you're not doing well on. You just lie and say you didn't hear about it. You didn't see it. See, this is an ideologue. This is what ideologues do. This is an ideologue. That's it. That's exactly it. You're not even going to sit down and have a discussion. You're just going, oh, no. You know what's funny? With Obama and all those people, I'm just going to go off Sigma for a second. With all those guys, there was a bit of humor. There was a bit of humor with Obama. Like, I remember, there was a bit of humor and jokes. And even though you had people that didn't really like Obama on certain things, they still had their moments of brevity. With Trump, from him shutting the government down, calling people names and stuff, I don't think you have that respect underneath. I think that America right now is perched on the edge of a knife. I think we've been there for a little bit of a while, and I think that could very easily, we could very easily go either way into the fire. I don't sit here and think that we would win or they would win or none of that. I think that America would be irrevocably destroyed, irrevocably changed in a negative fashion if these fascists decide to do something. I really do. I mean that. I don't think that Trump. I think it's interesting. That's what you do when you're losing. You have to go to violence and tweeting violent groups. You know what's crazy? With Obama, they had one guy, Van Jones, said some kind of borderline racist shit. They found some stuff. He was fired. Van Jones got fired for that. Now look at all the racists and racist shit around Trump. Look at this Stephen Miller bastard. Nothing's been done to him. Not gonna be fired. Hell no. Double standard. I was thinking about this earlier that Obama was basically a Boy Scout, and for Bernie Sanders to win, he's got to be one too. They're talking about this guy that was on Young Turks, Sajink, how he made some comments years ago that might have been unpolitically correct, and people were like, "Oh," and Bernie first supported him for running, and then he stepped back. And Zeke was like, I understand it. And people are like, oh, this is woke culture, and this is not, no. Bernie is like a Ron Paul for the left. What does that mean? Bernie's a person that has stood on principle from day one. It's like Ron Paul. And while they're politically, you know what's crazy is if you still had conservatives like Ron Paul, I don't think you'd have the need for Bernie Sanders. What I mean by that is Republicans like, God, I don't want to say John McCain, but the Republicans that had respect. I think about that, the lady that stood up when he was running for office and was talking about Obama being a Muslim. And he's like, no, ma'am. He took the mic, he said, no, ma'am. He said, man, I'm running against, disagree with him. He kept it going. He didn't get personal. I think that you're dealing with people who don't have that basic respect. They go well beyond. I think we have people who are willing to follow Trump to the grave. They're not thinking logically. That situational awareness. They're just, like for a better word, they're regressed. They're not regressed. They're chained to Trump. You know, he's marching towards Cerebus, and they're chained right to him. Hope they enjoy it. Peace out.